Alright, I've got my red brake caliper covers from eBay. I'm gonna open it up, make sure I didn't get scammed. Alright, so far so good. It's got the Mustang engraved on it. I didn't really want red, but that's all they had. I wish I can get it blue. Maybe I'll paint it in the future. The front's gonna be with the Mustang logo on it, and the rear is gonna have GT. I think that's a nice addition to my black bullet wheels. They're 18 by 9 in the front and 18 by 10 in the rear, I think. And this is how it looks. I don't like the naked caliper cover like that. It kind of throws everything off, so I want to put a little style. Plus I heard that it reduces the brake dust getting on your wheels, which I like. I like style and functionality, so that's a combo. And that's the front wheel there. And come around, it's the rear. I'll be back to do an after picture. This is just before, so stay tuned. Alright, so now I got the tire off. I'm just looking at my hardware here, how I'm gonna mount it on that caliper there. I'll be back to put it all together here. Let me look at my hardware first. This is for the front, as it's labeled fronts. Let's see, we got some little clips here. That. And one more. Where's my little screws at? Let's see. Alright. Okay, the screws are already on there. These are 3/8, I believe. And I got a little ratchet with an extension on it. Got a 1/4 inch drive, like so. Let's see. They told me it was 3/8, so let me see if that was correct. Yep, that's 3/8. So I'm gonna try to hold the camera and mount it on there. If not, I'll just kind of do another video with me tightening stuff down while I got it on there. Okay, about to put the second one on, passenger side. These are pretty straightforward to put on, but what I noticed is when I loosen these up first, we have space to put your clips up under them. And I noticed, in my opinion, it's easier to mount the rear side first. What I mean by rear side is the back part that's gonna be where my finger is, instead up here first at the front. To me, it's better if you do this one because it's kind of like a stretch if you do the front part first. What you want to do is I'm gonna wedge this piece up on the caliper. Let me put the camera down for a second. When you're doing this, you want to fit it as close as you can to this anchor bracket. That's where you have good clearance for your wheels when you put them back on. But yeah, basically you want to have this little slot facing up, because it's going to slide up under this nut here, the locking nut on it. So let me see if I can wedge that. You have to beat on it sometime to get it to go in between, but you get the gist of it. So I'm gonna stop it here and do that rear side since I need two hands, and I'll be back. I don't know if you can quite see it, but I'm at the very bottom where you can actually see the rotor coming out from the caliper. It's where your clip, you want to put your clip here. Don't try to wedge it here, it's not gonna go. So don't make that mistake. In case you can see it now. Yeah, don't put it here. You're gonna come right at where you can see the rotor, and you're gonna slide it right there. That's where you're gonna wedge your caliper cover in this little slot. You want the nut to go right up in here. And like I said, you have to bam on it a little bit just to get it to fit up in there. You have to just play with it. So let me do that now. Now on to the rear. I should have showed it when I was doing the front brake caliper covers. On the front one, they already had the studs in them, and all you had to do was just put the clamp and the nut on it. However, on the rear is even better because the studs are on the clamps, and you're working with a shorter field, I guess you can say. It's not quite as long as the fronts. And it's even easier because all you have to do is take your clamp, come to your caliper, and slide it up under. And there you go, you got it set right there. Just make sure you line it up pretty much, you know, in the middle. You come to the top part, slide it, and press it down as far as you can. It should lock right in there. Then you want to take your caliper cover. I usually start from the rear, put the hole there, and maybe a little stretch, but it'll work. You have to just kind of pry it up. Let's see. Oh, there you go. Boom goes the dynamite. And all you have to do is take your nut and put it on here. If I can do this just right. I'm trying to hold the camera. Which I'm using my phone to film all this with. Okay. Tighten it down. Come to the top. Tighten that down. Where my 3 ratchet go? Where did you go, ratchet? There you go. Alright. The rear brake caliper cover is extremely easy to do. Alright, you know, you just want to tighten it down. What I like about this, you don't have to line up with the slot. So, it's pretty much straightforward. Now this part here. Get my ratchet right. Alright. That's all there is to it. You got your GT on the back. And up front, you have Mustang. Just slap the wheel back on and you set to ride. Figured while I was up under there, I'd go ahead and grease up my my ball joint. And as you can see, safety first. I got my parking brake set, and it's a manual, so I got it in first. It's not going anywhere. And got my jack and my jack stand. I like to leave my jack right up under just in case, like a secondary precaution. So going up there. Don't know how well this is gonna show. I wish I had my GoPro with me. I got my handy dandy grease gun. What you wanna do is you come to your wheel, follow it up, and I don't know how well that's gonna show, but your ball bearing, your ball joint has a grease fitting on it. Most of them on the GT does anyhow. You just wanna hook up your into your grease gun fitting. You just pump until the grease comes out. And I can't be able to do that with the camera in my hand. I need 2 hands to do it. I'll pump it till the grease come out and come back and show you that. Anyway, If you're ever going down the road and you going across bumps, or even when you just turning, your car does that annoying most likely it's your ball joints and they need greasing. And that's the way to cure that unwanted attention, because I like when people look at my ride, but not when it's squeaking, because that's for the wrong reason. Alright. Okay, I'm back. I pumped and pumped and pumped until, as you can see, the old grease is the brown stuff, and the green is the new, which is just the residue right there. But you want to pump it till you get all that out, and then see the new stuff coming out. That's about it. But what causes that is most of the time when moisture gets inside of that little boot, it causes it to squeak, because it's just metal going against the metal, no lubrication. So just keep that in mind, and no more squeaks. Got the wheel back on. I'm gonna give it a little spin and see how the Wheel of Fortune does. I don't see any issues there, and that's the way it looks. I like it.